This video is sponsored by Hover Air. So you're in the market for a new drone and I've got one that can do things that should be impossible, like this. In this video, we're going to talk about what this is, what it can do, including a handful of features I've never seen anywhere before. Plus, I'll tell you what happened when I broke it. There is a problem with owning a drone these days. In most countries, at least, consumer drones need to operate under strict laws and restrictions. Essentially, if they're above a certain weight, you'll need to keep them well away from airports and buildings and people. And so you'll probably have found that the easiest and safest way to fly one of these things around is near water. There's no people, no buildings, it's nice and safe until it hits the wet stuff and suddenly you've got a very expensive, entirely useless gadget on your hands. That is the main problem that this product solves. The Hover Air Aqua is the world's first waterproof self-flying drone. Now I'll come back to the self-flying bit in a moment, but just for now, let's focus on the waterproof part. This doesn't just mean it can get wet in the sea and rivers, although it can, it's quite happy bobbing around, as you can see here, but it can actually land directly on water. And it can also take off from the water once it's in there. This is one of those things that has to be seen to be believed. Very, very cool. This waterproofing theoretically means that I could fly this in the rain, which I would never dream of doing with any other drone I've owned. Now I can't show you this right now because I was testing this in the middle of a heat wave here in the UK, but it would work fine on a rainy day. The other extremely clever thing that this drone can do is right itself if, say, you're filming yourself on a boat or a kayak and it lands upside down and you can't get to it. You just hit this button and boom, it flips itself over and you're ready to fly. Now, as you can see from some of the footage, I recently took this away with me on a family trip to Italy, and I cannot tell you how many people came up to me and asked where on earth they could buy one of these, because as I mentioned, you'd normally have to be a complete maniac to fly a drone this close to water, but the Hover Air Aqua just takes all the fear out of it. Now you're probably wondering how on earth you control it, especially if, you're on a surfboard or a kayak and you have other things you need to concentrate on. Well, there are broadly 3 ways to control the Hover Air Aqua. Firstly, you can connect it to your phone wirelessly. You'll need to do this anyway to update the firmware and review your footage. But yeah, the Hover Air app is really capable and it makes it super easy to fly around in manual mode with a live preview of what your drone can see, even if you're not an experienced drone pilot, which I am not. I reckon if you've ever played a video game with a handheld controller, you'll easily be able to pick this up in no time. Now, the second way to control this drone is using this lighthouse controller. This is unique to the Aqua drone. This is also waterproof and it's got all the usual controls on, plus it lets you strap it onto your arm for takeoff, shooting, and landing. It's also got something called RTK positioning, which stands for real-time kinematics. This essentially lets your drone pinpoint where you are down to the nearest centimeter, even if you're obscured from view, which is why it would work if you're on a foil or a paddleboard, or in my case, in the sea here, or when I took it out on a moving boat. Now, I did say 3 ways, and the last way to operate the drone is simply to let it do its own thing. Yeah. It can fly itself with over 10 intelligent flight modes built in. You simply choose the one you want here on the drone screen, or you can switch to them using the app, then just press the top button and the drone whirs into action and does exactly what you've told it to whilst filming the entire thing, like a good little robot. Now, there are way too many modes to list here, but as an idea, you can get it to zoom out like a kind of insane selfie. This is probably my favorite mode, especially with the high version of this selected. Or you can orbit around you in a loop like this, or spiral upwards whilst orbiting, or even take a bird's eye top-down shot just like this one. Or you can just set a distance and ask it to follow you, and as you can see here, it doesn't necessarily have to be on water. There's also dolly track, which is essentially following you from the side or from an angle, and many, many more, including some that are specific to water activities, if you're into water sports. No judgment here if you are. Let's move on to talk about some of the other key features. Well, in terms of the actual footage, as you can see here, it's beautiful and cinematic with excellent detail. Now, as a default, it records video in HDR 4K 60, but you can take it all the way up to 4K 100 frames a second for some lovely slow motion shots. Now, if you're into color grading, it can also shoot in log format, but only at 4K 30. As for me, I just left it on the default for most of the time, and this gave me excellent results straight out of the camera. All of the footage that you're seeing in this video is taken straight out of the drone with no edits made at all. And in case you're worried about all that water affecting things, the lens has anti-fog and a hydrophobic coating, so you're not going to be needing to wipe it down constantly as you're filming. Now, as you might expect, you can also take still images as well as video with the drone. I'm really happy with how these beach shots turned out from my Italy trip. Again, really crisp and detailed footage. Importantly for drone laws, this one is under 250 grams, so you don't need to get special permission or licenses to fly with it in most places. And in terms of battery life, Hover Air say you'll get up to 23 minutes on a single charge. I tested this extensively with multiple batteries, and I found that I sometimes got a bit longer if I stayed clear of manual mode and just kept to the built-in presets for self-flying. Either way, that's pretty good for a drone this size, and you can always pack a few extra batteries if you know you're going to be filming lots of footage. Now, like a lot of portable cameras and drones these days, this one packs built-in storage. You get 128 gigabytes included, so you don't need to worry about forgetting a memory card. You just pack your drone and go. And that will still leave tons of room. So most of the 4K files that I shot whilst testing this were between 200 to 300 megabytes. I think the largest I got was 2 gigabytes for a 4-minute clip, so I didn't get anywhere near to troubling the storage limits here. I also tested out the speed, and it was certainly able to keep up with this little motorboat. In fact, it was actually able to overtake me with a top speed of 34 miles an hour. And even in super windy conditions like here on Lake Garda, it was surprisingly stable. You can see from my top that it's a pretty windy day out on this pier, but the drone stays really stable. I actually only managed to get it to wobble a handful of times, and that was in extremely windy conditions. Now folks, you know I like to give an honest, balanced review here, and there are some considerations that I point out with this particular drone. First of all, even though there are a bunch of ways to fly this thing, it isn't completely idiot-proof, so there is a bit of a learning curve, particularly when it comes to trusting the drone. And what do I mean by trusting a drone, you might think? Well, the way to send it off is essentially by holding it by the stem and then waiting for it to start buzzing and letting it drop and then fly off into action. Well, the idea of dropping a drone, especially near water, feels very unnatural at first, and it took me some time to get used to. It did always catch itself though, so it's mainly just a mental hurdle you might need to get over. Secondly, even though it is self-piloting, you do still need to keep an eye on it. As I mentioned, I did break it while I was testing this on a dolly track in a narrow street. I set the distance too far and the drone got damaged. And that's the reason, by the way, you're not seeing the screen working on some of these shots. However, Hover Air do have a really good 2-year warranty, which meant that this could be easily replaced, which is great. And you also get a repair kit in the box, so you can do some maintenance all by yourself. Plus, if you're worried that you might be a bit accident prone, they offer a couple of optional paid cover plans, which should have you covered. I'll leave a bit more information on those in the description. And then finally, I'm not 100% sold on the screen being here on the drone itself. To me, this kind of feels like it will be better being beamed onto the lighthouse control instead, even if that meant having a bit of latency. Now, I asked Hover Air about this, and they said that the screen placement was designed with water-based shooting scenarios in mind. So I can kind of see that if I was sat on a surfboard about to catch a wave, I'd want to know that the picture was working before I sent this thing off to film me. So yeah, that makes sense. Important to note, this company make another drone which I tested last year, which is called the X1 Pro Max, and the beacon controller that comes with that one feels to me like a more intuitive way to interact with a drone. You get a live feed on the built-in screen, as well as being able to clip in your phone if you need to see some more. Now, that beacon controller is actually compatible with the Aqua 2 if you prefer a more traditional drone control setup. So there we are, folks. This is a drone that doesn't just take a few splashes, it absolutely loves getting soaking wet. I've had an absolute blast testing it out. The Hover Air Aqua starts at $1129 for the standard bundle, although other packages are available. This one I've been testing out is the Fly More bundle, which comes with some additional batteries and also a quick charging hub. If you want to grab one for yourself, just scan this here or use my code in the description to get yourself a free wetsuit for your drone, which is a phrase I never thought I would ever say. Now, in the meantime, if you've got any questions at all, please let me know in the comments. And if you want to see what other cameras I keep with me, yeah, just check this one out up here. See you next time.